Welcome to HDTV. You're now rocking with your boy. Several ex-NFL players rip Joe Judge. He's too worried about his ego. Um, Hold on, okay. There's a monumental disconnect between the perception of New York Giants head coach Joe Judge and East Rutherford and outside of it. For those local to the team, hold on. For those local to the team, Judge method makes sense. His players have clearly bought in. The locker room is in lockstep with their head coach. There's a good relationship with the media and a growing relationship with the fans. On the national stage and among those who have never spent a single moment with or around Judge or his team, the opinions are wildly different. After having four players retire over the first 2 weeks of training camp, Judge and his disciplined old school approach have become somewhat of a lightning rod. The notion that he's running things the Patriots way as opposed to the Judge way have taken off, and there's no convincing people they've got it wrong. Such was the case on Friday night when several retired NFL players, including ex-Giant Geoff Schwartz, took aim at Judge for his brutal approach to discipline and training. Joe Looney gets signed, and in his first two practices, he's got to run a lap for a mistake and then run sprints and push-ups to end practice for a fight. Brutal, Schwartz tweeted. Retired offensive lineman Jeff Allen and retired defensive end Michael DeVito also believe that Judge's methods are toxic. The New England way outside of New England is toxic, Allen tweeted. It's really so true, DeVito replied in agreement. Sean Smith, who spent 10 seasons in the NFL and appeared in over 100 games, took things a step further and ripped Judge for having an ego. He thinks he is running a college program, or he thinks he is Bill Parcells, Smith tweeted. Joe Judge hasn't one expletive. He's too worried about his hair and ego. They are the new Pats. Judge, who has won 2 BCS national championships with Alabama and 3 Super Bowl titles with the New England Patriots, has never once concerned himself with his hair. He has also never come across as someone with an ego, quite the opposite, in fact. But the Giants and their fans wouldn't be upset if they became the new Pats. After a decade of losing, turning into one of the most legendary and successful franchises in sports history would be more than welcome. Ignoring that reality, Schwartz and DeVito continue speaking for Joe Looney and Zach Fulton, who each opted to retire this week. And you know, brother, the older you get, the more that stuff wears your body down. We are also adults. Running for someone else making a mistake doesn't teach accountability, Schwartz tweeted in reply. Perhaps one of them should have reached out to Looney for his honest opinion because it doesn't match the words they attempted to put into his mouth. That's something I ain't done since Little League, but you know I loved it. It's another way to hold us accountable as professionals, Looney said prior to his retirement. If you make a mistake, you're going to have to run a lap for it. You know I'm all about it. It holds us accountable at the end of the day. Looney ultimately decided that after 8 months away from the game, his body simply couldn't take the rigors of training camp. And then in 17-game season, that was also the case for Fulton, who was unable to crack the second team in practice. Meanwhile, Fulton's agent Rick Smith assured the New York Post that his retirement had nothing to do with Judge's discipline. Reached by the Post on Friday, Fulton's agent Rick Smith was adamant about the fact that Judge training camp has zero to do with his client's decision to retire. That's consistent with the feedback from both Looney and Davis. I would say that a lot of these older vets, they're at a different point in their life with different things. Judge told reporters on Friday. Zach's a guy that started a business in the offseason. He just had his son. His family is down in Texas. This is an opportunity for him to get back. We talked a lot about just the duration and career and different things without going into everything. Look, he indicated to us, hey, listen, coming out of where he was last year, your body's in a different point than when you're younger. You get to point to see, do I think I have it for 17 games? And you have to respect when these guys look us in the eye and say, listen, I really wanted to see if I could push through it, but I don't think my body's at that point, and you can leave this point in the game with your health. Excuse me. In terms of dealing with vets that make decisions like this, the biggest thing is that you have to understand. You got to respect them as a person first, okay? As you look at your roster, sometimes you don't want to see any of those players walk out. When we sit down and have an honest conversation, you don't really talk much about football. You talk about family, you talk about their experience in the league, you talk about what they want to do long term in their life, you talk about a lot of different things. I appreciate everything they've done for the team. They all worked hard for us. I don't want to see any one of them go. We left the door open for all three based on circumstances that if something were to happen, they could return if we have room for them. I'd welcome all three, Looney, Fulton, and Todd Davis, of them back. I really would. These are guys we brought in our program because we think they would help the team. There are three good dudes. I tell you that right now. All three of them are good dudes. Veteran linebacker Todd Davis, who also opted to retire after a brief camp stint with the Giants, had nothing but good things to say about Judge and Co. The Giants, I was only there a little bit of time, and I think I had a shot at doing everything I wanted to do there. Davis said it was just everything combined. It was great there. I feel like they have a great coaching staff. There's a lot of coaches there who care about their players doing well, so I expect them to do well. In fact, the only retiree or player who has been critical of Judge was Benjamin, who reported to camp nearly 20 pounds overweight and opted to quit instead of accepting a fine. If anyone wants a clearer picture of Judge and what it's like playing for him, just ask his players. It ain't for everybody, you feel me? He's entitled to his opinion, cornerback James Bradbury said via the New York Daily News. I definitely think Coach Judge is tough, but football is tough. There's a lot of pressure being in our shoes, so I don't expect him to give us our way all the time. A tough coach, that's how you build structure, that's how you build discipline. That's what he's building here. It's part of our culture. It ain't for everybody, man. You know, the biggest thing I appreciate about Joe is how he always kept the picture going forward. We started off really rough last year, and each week you couldn't tell it from him and his expectations and his energy towards that. He could see it in our eyes as well, just his energy, his standard, and the way he holds his standard up for himself and the way he holds us to the standard that he's created for this program. I respect it a lot. You know, you can strap up your helmet and go to war for a coach like that. We're excited to go into year two with him and get another camp down. Tight end Evan Ingram said that long paragraph. No, not at all. Wide receiver Sterling Shepard said when asked if players hate Judge's methods. That's kind of the standard that we've set here in this building and as a team. And I think guys have brought in and know bought in and know what to expect whenever you step on the field. And we're playing under a guy like Coach Judge. If you don't like it, then you're welcome to leave. But that's the way that we do things around here, and everybody is standing by that, and I'm all for it. I'll run through a wall for that man, safety Logan Ryan said. Judge has also earned the respect of several Giants legends, including Phil Simms, Eli Down Syndrome Manning, Michael out of the closet allegedly Strahan, Justin Tuck, Matthias Kiwanuka, Ozzy Umeora, and Sean O'Hara, not to mention the in-house bunch of Jeff Eagles, Howard Cross, and Carl Banks. You simply don't win over your entire team and some of the greatest who have ever played this game by being the ego-driven Bill Belichick clone who is out to make everyone's life miserable. Perhaps some of the critics should hop off Twitter and take a trip to the Meadowlands to see things in person and get an actual pulse of the situation instead of making assumptions based on a narrative largely fueled by a parody Twitter account that expertly fooled everyone. Because let's be honest, that's exactly what has happened. What I said about Michael Strahan is allegedly, guys. Okay. Now, here's the thing. I picked the Giants to win the NFC East. I picked them to win because I believe they can win it this year. I don't trust Dallas because I think Dallas is too soft. I think it's going to come a time where they need to win big games. I don't see them winning those big games. Washington football team, they don't have a quarterback. The Eagles, I say, could be number two because Jalen Hurts is, to me, a good quarterback. He's decent enough, but we have to see what their team does because Washington, to me, has probably the best defense in the division. And the Giants, excuse me, the Giants defense is tough, so they might be the second best. So I think the Giants and Eagles might fight for the winning of the division or the Washington football team. I just don't know about Dallas. If Dallas has it, their preseason game, they looked alright. I mean, it's still the same problem, even though they didn't have their starting QB in there. It still looked like the same Dallas team to me, who's going to struggle to score, and their defense is going to give up late. So, but the Giants with Joe Judge, I mean, this isn't the first time we heard this. We've heard plenty of things about these coaches, especially these coaches who come from that Belichick tree where they think they're Belichick and they think they can do what they want to do. And it don't work that way. It doesn't work that way. You have to come in with a humbleness about yourself, and you have to get the players to buy in, and you'll be fine. But see, the problem is people don't want to buy in. They're too soft. A lot of these guys are soft. They can't take it. They can't take when you put adversity their way. He's trying to teach you to be mentally tough. That's why he has them being, that's why he's have you running extra stuff. If somebody mess up, then the whole team messed up. That's the truth. It's a team concept. If you don't want to be blamed, then don't play. Don't play on the team if you're not looking to get blamed. It is what it is. It's life. We've got to stop babying everybody. Coach Judge is running it like they used to back in the day. And if you can't take it, like Sterling Shepard say, stay your ass home or don't come at all. Because this is a different mindset. These guys are building themselves. This is how you build yourself to a Super Bowl. It starts in OTAs, then it goes to training camp, then it goes through the season, then it comes here. So you have a different process of your team growing and you growing. So early in the season, you're basically going to be trying to get your fun, do all this, but when the second half start, you're getting serious, you're trying to win, you're trying to get to that goal, you're with your teammates, all of y'all one for all for one for all, doesn't matter how that saying goes, but that's how it goes. So that's what I'm saying. You have to build, and then when you get to the playoffs, that's a third part of your life. That's a third part of growth. Then when you get to the championship, that's the ultimate growth. That shows how much you sacrificed and how much you did for the team to win the game. See, they've turned everything into individualism when it's not. It's a team sport. Judge Joe, Judge Joe, Mr. Judge, I agree with him on this. Like, he has a right to be tough because that's how you build character. A lot of the young folk, they're soft. They're soft. They can't deal with nothing. They can't deal with anything. If you even push a little pressure on them, they fold. So it's like we got to look at this stuff. So I side with Judge Joe. Those players, they could be right too. There's probably players who don't like what he's doing. That's cool. You're not gonna like the coach. If you love the coach or like him, or you're buddy buddy with them, you're not gonna win. So we'll see, man. Like I said, I got the Giants winning that division. I still think they can. I just think this is just a bunch of spoiled babies that's punks who can't deal with adversity. Thank you for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, share this. Hit the notification bell to select all to receive upcoming notifications. And if you love what you hear, you can donate to the page by cash apping me at the word welcome, the number 2, and then HDIITV. And also let me know in the comment sections what you guys think of the developments for the Giants. Do you think this is going to torpedo their division, or do you think that this is going to make them stronger as a team? And do you think the Patriot way is overrated? Let me know in the comment section how you feel about it. But thank you for listening. We're out. Deezy.